Coming up on Vegas Nation Gameday, the Raiders set to visit the Mile High City for a Thursday night date with the Denver Broncos. The Silver and Black without Jakobi Meyers as the team deals him away at the deadline. We get into how the team is reacting to that trade, plus how Geno Smith feels with Brock Bowers back on the field. All that and more coming up. Vegas Nation Gameday starts right now.
Powered by the Las Vegas Review-Journal, this is Vegas Nation Gameday. Presented by D&R House of Diamonds, making luxury affordable. Located in the One Summerlin building in downtown Summerlin.
Hello, welcome into Vegas Nation Gameday once again, this time on a short week. I'm your host, Dominic Lavoie. Let's get things rolling right away in this show with Vinny Bonsignore and his vision on this Thursday night game against the Broncos.
I want to see the Raiders pick up where they left off in that fourth quarter and overtime against the Jacksonville Jaguars. The offense was playing about as good as it's played all season. They scored 3 touchdowns in the second half and in overtime. Geno Smith played a decent game, big game for Brock Bowers in his first game back. Can the Raiders pick up where they left off on offense? If they can, they're at least going to have a chance to score some points. On the other hand, their defense was, quite frankly, really bad against the Jacksonville Jaguars, especially in that second half where they gave up 4 scoring drives, ultimately losing that game in overtime to the Jaguars. The Raiders defense has got to be better than that. Really 2 straight games now against the Chiefs and the Jaguars where they're giving up drive after drive after drive, and it's not these short drives, it's these 13, 12-play drives that cover a lot of distance and eat up a lot of the clock and keep the Raiders defense on the field for far too long, and by the end of the game, they're dog tired, but that's on them. They got to start getting teams off the field on third downs and on fourth downs and get the ball back to their offense. Can that start happening in Denver? I don't know. This is going to be a tough chore for the Raiders. It was going to be a hard game playing against a playoff team like the Denver Broncos, regardless of whether they had Jakobi Meyers or not. And they don't. That just makes it even that much more difficult. We'll see what they can muster up. They'll get a short break after the game on Thursday and welcome the Dallas Cowboys into Las Vegas for the first Cowboys game here at Allegiant Stadium next Monday, a week from this Monday. But that feels like a long way off. They've got a lot of work to do to be competitive against the Denver Broncos on Thursday.
All right, now to some other storylines, but first up, it's time to check the injury report on this short week. Quarterback Aiden O'Connell is ruled out due to the right wrist injury he suffered back in the preseason. Safety Lonnie Johnson Jr. broke his fibula in training camp. Pete Carroll says Johnson is ready to go, but the injury report lists him as questionable. Joining Johnson as questionable are Isaiah Pola-mao, who has been limited due to a hip problem, as well as Adam Butler due to a back issue. Now, it's important to note that the Raiders conducted a walkthrough on Wednesday, and their injury report statuses are estimates. Now to the other big news this week. Jakobi Meyers is no longer a Raider. He's now a member of their last opponent, the Jacksonville Jaguars, acquiring Meyers on Tuesday ahead of the NFL trade deadline, with the Raiders getting a 4th and 6th round pick in return. Now, Meyers made his desire to be traded public in August, but he stayed, in his words, professional and kept showing up to work. And in that work this year, he caught 33 passes for 352 yards. Here's the Raiders reacting to that trade.
Jakobi, hard-working guy, extremely hard-working, very talented player, a guy who knows the game in and out, man. Like, he understands the game, and he was a valuable asset for us on the offense. I wish him the best in the future, man. I hope he gets everything that he deserves, and just as a friend, just want him to be happy. More than anything, want him to be happy. So, wishing him the best, and we got to move forward.
He was a great teammate and a player for sure. Like, he's one of the best receivers we had in the room. He could do everything, play outside, inside, do the deep balls, short routes, whatever it is, he could do that. So he's definitely going to do the same thing he was doing here, but probably at an even higher level at the next spot.
He meant a lot, not only just on the field, but just off the field as just guidance to a lot of the young receivers. I know he played a big part in my development throughout the last 3 years. And it's tough to see him go, but it's a part of the business, and just got to wish the best for him and keep playing.
I was able to get to know Jakobi for a week, and I think he's a pretty cool dude. I think we have a lot of similarities and stuff, and definitely wish him the best as he goes out there with Jacksonville. Here, I'm going to just keep trying to fall in line and just do my part to be able to help this team, understanding the culture that Pete brings and everything like that. And we're going to lean on Trey to be able to continue to lead us in the receiver room.
Now, against Jacksonville last week, the Raiders finally got tight end Brock Bowers back in the lineup, the healthiest he's been since week number 1 of the season. Now, Bowers in week 9, 12 catches on 13 targets, 127 yards, and a hat trick. Yeah, that's right, 3 touchdowns, on the day, a welcome sight for Raiders fans and fantasy owners alike. And with Bowers back on the field, the Raiders were able to use 12 personnel for some of their snaps out there. Here's quarterback Geno Smith speaking on the luxury of having that option.
You got to use your great players, man. You got to use your good players, and Brock and Mike are two of our good players, and two of the guys that we rely on this offense. And if we're in 12 personnel, 11 personnel, no matter who's out there, guys got to make plays. But having those two guys on the field, you can see the results, man. They both are extremely talented players. They play extremely hard, and they're big targets, man. They find ways to get open, and you can see what they do with the ball in their hands.
All right, now for some stats. Here's Heidi Fang with the hard count in Week 10.
Thanks, Dom. With all the talk being about the Jakobi Meyers trade, let's take a closer look at the numbers with the Raiders wide receivers from this past Sunday. On the snap counts, Trey Tucker led all wide receivers with his on-field presence. Per Pro Football Focus, he was involved in 62, the team's 64 offensive snaps. Tucker accounted for 38 receiving yards on 3 catches. Tucker was followed in snap count by running back Ashton Jeanty, who scored a receiving touchdown on one of his 5 catches on the day. And then Jakobi Meyers, who saw 57 snaps and had 4 catches for 23 yards. Of course, tight end Brock Bowers had the big day, hauling in 127 receiving yards on 12 receptions. And the newest addition to the team, Tyler Lockett, saw only 19 snaps on the field. He was targeted just once on the failed 2-point conversion. As they head into Thursday night's divisional matchup, the Raiders are still in the bottom 10 in the NFL in receiving yards at 25th overall and in passing yards with a little over 1,700 thrown. They've had just 11 touchdowns through the air this season, which is tied for 5th fewest in the league, along with the Texans and Vikings. The Raiders were swept by the Broncos last season, and Denver hasn't lost this season since September. And oh, by the way, they're undefeated at home in 2025. By the numbers, it'll be an uphill battle for the Silver and Black this Thursday.
All right, let's take a really short break, but when we come back, Adam Hill flips the field with a close look at the Denver Broncos, plus Todd Dewey joins us with some betting odds. Stick around.
DNR House of Diamonds is Las Vegas's elite private office jeweler. We specialize in natural and lab-grown loose diamonds, engagement rings, and custom design. If you're looking for lab-grown diamonds, we have one of the largest selections at the best prices in Las Vegas. We make luxury affordable every day.
All right, quickly now, with a look at the Denver Broncos, Adam Hill joins us to flip the field.
It's Adam Hill's time to flip the field. This week, the Raiders are playing the Denver Broncos on the road, divisional opponent up in Denver on a short week on a Thursday night, and it's a big challenge, mostly because Denver's defense is ferocious. One of the best in the league, no question about it. They are where they are in terms of sitting on top of the division because that defense has been so good. Now, likely without Pat Surtain, the Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL, one of the best in the game for sure. But they had a challenge last week without Surtain. They were able to get through it. They still played really well, kept Houston out of the end zone in that game. So Denver's defense still really good without Pat Surtain. On the other side of the ball, Bo Nix, not the greatest year that he's having, but he's finding ways to win. He's doing enough. They thought he'd build on that rookie year. Actually, it looks like he might have regressed a little bit, but he's finding ways to win. That's what's most important. That's what Sean Payton liked about him, and that is the challenge that the Raiders face this week up in Denver against the Broncos.
All right, now let's check in with Todd Dewey and follow the money with some primetime Raiders betting odds.
The Broncos open as 10-point favorites over the Raiders, but sharp money on the Silver and Black has caused the consensus line to drop to 9 and to as low as 8.5. Sharp money on the over has caused the total to creep up from 42 to 42.5 and 43, depending on the book. The betting public is all over Denver, which has won 6 straight games and accounts for 70% of spread bets on the game. The over accounts for 74% of tickets on the total. Ashton Jeanty is even money to score a touchdown in this one, and plus 675 to be the first touchdown scorer. Brock Bowers pays plus 165 to score a TD and is 10-1 to score the first touchdown. Geno Smith is a heavy minus 182 favorite to throw an interception and a plus 150 underdog to throw a touchdown pass.
All right, well, there you have it. That'll do it here for Vegas Nation Game Day week number 10. Thank you all for hanging out with us on a short week as we get set for the Broncos Thursday night game. Now, as always, nothing's changed. Make sure to stay connected with us on social media at Vegas Nation and on the web at vegasnation.com. Plus, check out the First and 10 post-game podcast from Denver after the Thursday night action wraps up. But for now, this is goodbye. Enjoy all the action, and I'll see you all next time.
Powered by the Las Vegas Review-Journal, this is Vegas Nation Game Day. Presented by DNR House of Diamonds, making luxury affordable. Located in the One Summerlin building in downtown Summerlin.